The scene opens on our completely unremarkable protagonist. Based on his complaints, he hails from a totally average household and had a life as exciting as watching paint dry. But then, bam, everything changes when he stumbles upon the game, Hero's Destiny. Suddenly, he's not just some background character. No, in this game, he's the hero himself, the one who gets to forge his own story and, you guessed it, become the ruler of the world. Cue the confetti, right? Well, maybe. Our boy is thrilled. After all, it's a single-player game. That's his jam. He's a fan of single-player because, let's be real, it's the only game where you can save, reload, and hit the reset button on your disastrous decisions. Plus, cheating is like an all-you-can-eat buffet of shortcuts. What's not to love? It turns out our boy isn't just any gamer. He's a streamer. He's got an audience, though they don't exactly seem like the supportive, champ type. More like the let's roast this guy into oblivion kind. All he hears is insults flying at him like it's a stand-up comedy roast. But, oh, what's this? One kind soul tosses him $10. Hey, it's something. But then, wham, a $1,000 donation. Looks like someone's feeling generous. Our boy is shook, and they didn't even ask him to do anything. Can we get an applause for that mysterious benefactor? And then, out of nowhere, he gets a message from someone named D. This is where things get interesting. DEA claims to be an indie game developer and asks if our boy can play the game and offer some feedback. Apparently, no one could beat it during the beta test. Well, looks like D's got faith in him. Our boy wonders, does this mysterious figure see something special in him? Or is DEA just desperate? He installs the game from DEA, and finally, he starts Hero's Destiny. In this game world, our boy is dropped into the year 294 of the imperial calendar. Rogue Kingdom is on fire, literally, thanks to an invasion by the Japal United Kingdom. What could have possibly gone down between these two kingdoms that sparked such a spectacular disaster? A border dispute over who has the better flag design? Maybe it's a classic good old-fashioned war. Now, our boy is reborn as a totally unremarkable character, just like he was in real life. Wave goodbye to immersion and that all-powerful fantasy of becoming some demigod. You were never going to be the chosen one. The game tells him he's got one mission. Become the hero, defeat the resurrected evil god, and climb the ladder to the god's throne. Simple, right? Just a little bit of world saving. After all, who wouldn't want their wish granted after a little bit of world domination? Naturally, our boy isn't entirely sold on the game. He starts commenting on it. The graphics are bad, but hey, it's an indie project. Good graphics don't make a game, right? Sure, buddy. Sure. Then, the game asks him to choose a name for his character. He gleefully types in the most cringe name imaginable, Game Master. Oh yes, the titular Game Master. Can we get a round of applause for originality? At first, the game feels pretty generic, but don't worry, it's just the beginning. The early game is always a snooze fest, until the magic happens. Enter the old man. He's the village chief, probably here to deliver some side quest or philosophical wisdom. He asks our boy what business he has with the village. Our boy, a genius in his own right, is confused. There's no dialogue option, so he types in, "Hand over your gold, or I'll slaughter all the villagers." Real subtle, dude. Real subtle. Naturally, the old man is not having it, and with one hit, our boy is dead. The game does not mess around. I guess there's no defense stat to pump up yet. He tries again, this time with an innocent approach, following the old man into the village. The old man offers him a drink. Unfortunately, acting like an innocent angel means getting poisoned over time. Yikes. A fate worse than death. In his next attempt, our boy gets creative. He unplugs his internet cable, thinking, aha, the NPCs can't control me now. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work. The game still functions just fine. And as a cherry on top, he dies again. This time, it's because his tongue gets ripped out. Ouch. The game is still functioning, even offline. Who knew? He remembers D. Or is it D? Is that the developer's name? The team? Who even knows at this point? The mystery deepens. Our boy, exhausted from his thrilling adventure, decides to call it a night. But as he drifts off to sleep, he can't shake the feeling that this game world feels way too real. The NPCs react like actual humans. No wonder no one made it to the end during the beta. This is next-level immersion. Fast forward 10 years. Our boy is now a regular office worker. His life? Boring. His job? Boring. Oshiro-san, someone yells. Oh great, his colleague wants something. He's about to go home when… Hold up, what's this? Is his pretty colleague making a move on him? In typical MC fashion, he declines. Yep, the dense protagonist strikes again. Poor girl was probably waiting for a sign for years. Home. He logs back into Hero's Destiny. Apparently, in 10 years, he's still a hardcore gamer. The game congratulates him, and our boy is overjoyed. 10 years, and he feels more alive in the game than he ever did in reality. But now that it's over, he's back to being just, well, him. You can practically hear the emptiness in his voice. He reflects on the characters from the game. The Black Prince, Gale Krakow, Cardinal Cesare Libero, and Celestina Urian, the mysterious witch behind the scenes. They weren't just NPCs. They had personalities, charm, the kind of spark that made them feel real. Even if they were just pixels, it was hard to tell. If I met people like that, I'd be pretty bummed saying goodbye too. And just when he thinks it's all over, boom, he gets a pop-up. Want a new adventure? Could this be an ice guy? Fingers crossed, folks. He clicks yes. Suddenly, a beam of light shoots out of his PC, announcing that he's entered the world of Ellen. Oh, and by the way, he's still Game Master. Because why not? He feels a sharp burn in his chest and struggles to breathe. A voice whispers, I'm so glad you woke up. Oh no, this is giving off some serious Skyrim intro vibes. He opens his eyes to see an old man and is told he shouldn't have survived this long. But here's the real kicker. He's now in the body of a gorgeous, blonde boy named Calyx. Welcome to the world of Ellen, Calyx. You might want to work on your name a little, though. Game Master was better. Upon waking up, our hero asks the old man who he is. He might be an attendant of some sort of RMC, and he looks confused as this kind of question can only be caused by amnesia, but in this case, he's been transported to another world. The old man is confused again, as since what he used did not say that there was a risk of amnesia when he applied it. Our hero, Calyx, questions everything around himself again. He wonders who he is, and where he is exactly. The old man eventually tells him that his name is Russell, and he looks like to be of service to RMC. Calyx concludes that clearly this is not Japan and language is not Japanese either, although he could understand it. Despite saying this, he still is confused in all of this. While resting, RMC still feels the burning pain in his chest he experienced earlier. Perhaps this is a side effect of being transported into this world? I don't know. Russell apologizes to our boy, even though he just keeps helping him. He assures Calyx that this pain is just a side effect of the potion he used to revive him and will eventually disappear after a time, and he leaves Calyx to rest. Clearly, we can see that Russell is a man of loyalty and is sincere. Calyx, now partially recovered, looks in the mirror and sees himself as Twinkie, beautiful blonde boy, but is still asking himself, who am I, even though Russell already called him Calyx and a lord. RMC is truly an airhead. Even though he is still in this body, he clearly remembers all those years when he was in his pathetic life. He can't even remember his name in his previous life. Not that it's important. RMC suddenly opens up in status screen, which you can usually see in 90% of manhwas. His name is Calyx Shiakin, a 15-year-old noble from the Shiakin heirloom. Based on the status, he is still recovering and really has low level. He says, Hero's Destiny? This means that this status screen is something he remembers when he was in his previous life, playing the same game. What phenomenon could have transported him into this world? I think I have an idea now why nobody wanted to finish this game or why no one has finished it. He remembers on the screen, moving to the continent of Ellen, actually meant being ice-skate to its world, and now he's shocked and confused but eventually calms down. His chest pain is still hurting him and he wonders why it hurts so badly. He thinks that because of this sensation that there is no way this can be a dream. For now, he will try to blend in and use the name Calyx Shiakin as edgy as that name sounds. It's best to blend in with the NPCs. Who knows what they will do to him if feel he's acting weird? Calyx, just lying his face on the bed, suddenly makes the screen pop up. It looks like thinking about it makes it appear. Talk about convenience. Our boy then decides to gather some information about this new and interesting world so he can use it in order to survive. Since he's a noble, it is best to be cautious as assassins can be everywhere. The status screen shows him that he is of the territory of the Shiakin earldom, which means he is part of the Earl's directly family. Most likely, he will be treated with the highest respect and treated more than equally by other people. Jackpot. He has a life wherein he does not have to struggle for money. A knock on the door. Our boy Calyx is suddenly panicking as this will just be his second encounter with an NPC from a foreign land. He practices himself in the short span of time that he should tell himself that he is Calyx Shiakin, or else he's dead to the people. It looks like a maid is behind our boy's door, holding something. It's medicine for our MC because of this chest pain he is still having, or is it? The maid looks innocent while presenting the medicine to Calyx and urges him to take while it is still warm. Calyx wonders if he should ask the maid her name, but that will only give more suspicion. However, our boy is smart enough to check on the status of the maid despite her innocent looks. Her name is Lila. Status is a commoner. Her affiliation is Viscount Hashuran's territory. Combat power class 3LV33. It is weird because she has to be in the same kingdom as our MC, and why does she have such a high combat power? Something is fishy with this maid. Our MC is smart enough to be skeptical of this maid. He tells himself that he should not drink this, and that's for the best. Lila, looking surprised, wonders why Calyx is hesitating. Something isn't going according to her plan if there is one. Calyx tells her to just leave it, but she clearly wants our boy to drink it on the spot. Perhaps she's waiting for the effect of the medicine that she bought. Our boy gets pissed off at her persistence and knocks off the glass out of her hand. Lila is now shocked why Calyx swatted it. He might be onto her. Perhaps she is more than just a maid? She watches the glass fall and still manages to catch it. This is no ordinary maid, or is she one in the first place? Lila now gazes at our MC as if she's about to kill him.